G'day Bomber fans, we are back 2024, new year. The lads are out on the track already, putting in the work. I have a bit of a training update video for you, going over the results of the recent 2K time trial, talking about some of the injured players, who's looking good. And now this is all information I'm getting off footage and second-hand sources. Big shout outs as well to people like Bomber Rico and Scooter McNeese who are on the ball with this stuff on Twitter. If you want Essendon info, I'd give them a follow. Alright, let's start with the 2K time trial. Late last year, it was neck and neck with Durham and Redmond. It was won by Durham this time really easily by a solid 10 or so seconds. I think Redmond was taking it a bit easy as he wasn't in the top 5 or 10 or so. Langford and Martin trailed Durham. Rookies Lawal and Roberts were right up there, which is fantastic. I've talked a lot about our general defence and how it's the area I'm most unsure of when picking my team. You got Heppel, Kelly and Hind. I feel like they're all under pressure if Lawal and Roberts keep this up. From what I've seen so far of both of them, I've loved. And also Andy McGrath, he was up in the top 5 as well. So that's what, 3 general defenders showing off their tank, with Redmond taking it easy would have made it 4. Wing duo of Martin and Durham right up there. Dersma just coming out of rehab, so we don't know what his time would have been when fully fit. So that was the top 5, and according to Kane Baldwin, who definitely wasn't in the top 5, there were quite a few PBs as well, personal bests, which shows the boys have been putting in the work over the Christmas break, laying off the bevies potentially. But Sam Durham, clearly the biggest performer so far this pre-season. He has made me change my best 22 to have him on that wing with Martin. I'll touch on Dersma a bit later in the video as well. Actually, I might do that now. Let's talk about injuries. We'll start with the long ones. We aren't going to see Shiel and Stringer much at all in the coming weeks. I think Stringer was doing some running before our training session, the day before, but he wasn't there on Saturday. Tex Wangadine will be longer than them. He's got that foot injury. Sam Draper seems to have upped his workload a bit, which is good. Still not close to main training, but his running is getting to a higher intensity. Some were mostly running and sitting out of the training a bit. Perkins was off to the side in a few drills, but this early on, that could be anything. It was a lighter training session with the 2K time trial. We will see during this week if there are any niggles that we don't know about, and we will see whether or not names like Dersma, who seems to be moving a lot better, will be close to joining Match Sim. There is some Match Sim going on very soon, this week in fact. He is integrated into main training a bit for some skill work. I think the Match Sim will tell us where a lot of these players are at. I might even do a little injury video after that, going over the injury list. It always looks interesting in the new year as we try to figure out who's going to be fit when. We will know now people like Harry Jones and Nick Cox have been fit since their time before the end of the year. But them and Reed, they all look healthy from what I saw and from what others say. Again, light training doesn't really tell the full story, but it's still good to have some injury-prone players looking less fragile, touch wood. It's also getting to that stage in some careers where we fans are demanding muscle growth, and thankfully we're seeing it as well, which is good. Nick Cox, Nick Bryan, Harry Jones, they've all put on a few kegs since last pre-season, you can tell it. Nick Bryan's been managing a thumb injury, I forgot to say that before, so he's been doing a lot of running in the last month or so. Jones obviously had that stress fracture, but I expect to see him in a better place physically with some more muscle now. Touch wood again. You got the Arizona squad who all looked really good. Sartas is one that just seems like a different person, and I think we're going to see that next preseason as well. It's funny how a little bit of muscle and age over a few months can change your look from a skinny first-year player to a more imposing figure. He's a good height for a midfielder, so hopefully we see him clean up his ball use. Lewis Hayes is another that many are talking about in his second year, who is looking a lot bigger than he did in his first preseason. He had some nice moments in our big match sim late last year as well, so we could see him, a big year for him. I still don't think he'll play AFL minutes anytime soon, especially with Reed fit, but nevertheless it's good to see him become more mature in his body. Lots of players look really good. We obviously have some new faces in the fitness department under Sean Murphy. Jonas Siegel joined from North to shake it up a tad, but it's looking alright so far. I'm less worried than I have been in previous years, which is good. I just hope that we don't start to see those common stress fractures and those long-term injuries come along and ruin all this progression from our young squad. I think that's about it though. It was the first little session back. There's not too much to talk about. The next few weeks are going to be big though. We are building up to those preseason games. We play St Kilda on February the 23rd, then Geelong on the 1st day of March, and then just a fortnight after that we have our round 1 clash. Season 2024 is creeping up on us. These next 2 months are really important for the team, making sure the boys get the most out of these training sessions. Let me know your thoughts down below. Who are you most excited to see out on the track? Make sure you get your memberships ready. We're currently at 50k for the club. Last time there was a count. Hopefully we can break the record again. But like the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, go Bombers.